Do combat tricks matter more in Dominaria United than they have in really any set in recent memory? Hello Daily Drafters and welcome back to the channel for today's Daily Drafts. We are continuing Dominaria United drafts here on the channel, following Monday's trophy, hoping to get lucky for today's Pack 1 Pick 1. And unfortunately in the rare slot we do not. We pick up an awful rare, so we're not seeing any of the rare lands. If we look at the commons though, we've got Shield Wall Sentinel, Walking Bulwark for kind of a defender's package if we wanted to do that. There's also Phyrexian Rager and Writhing Necromass in black. Both could be quite good. Talus Lookout is decent in heavy blue decks. And Balmor Battlemage Captain is very, very good in blue-red and one of the best reasons to possibly do that deck. Now, I know this is a gold card, but I think having access to this card in blue-red... I mean, actually on Monday, I think we Pack 1 picked one this card and then moved off of it, moved into black-white, and still trophied. So, this format has a lot of opportunities to spike good cards like this, and we're going to see if we can... start with it and pick something up after it. And in this pack, we do not. There is 0 spells in this pack that would go well with Balmor. Balduvian Berserker has less than impressed so far. Keldon's Strike Team is very, very good. Baird is quite good in red-white as well. So is Resolute Reinforcements. Argivian Cavalier as well. So there's a lot of good options in red-white aggro here. Like if you could just take all of these, go into red-white aggro, say go on to the next pack, I'd probably do it. But right now we have to decide which is best for Pack 1 Pick 2 when we don't have any red-white aggro cards so far. I think I'm going to land on Baird. Either we're blue-red or red-white with this start, and if we're blue-red and we take Argivian Cavalier, it's the same as taking Baird and not being able to play it, right? Okay, well now there's Terra Sunder. There is Timely Interference, and there's Urborg Repossession. Those are the 3 cards I think I'm looking at here. Best card in this pack is definitely Terra Sunder. But the fact that we have Balmor, I think I'm going to take the Timely Interference and see if we can make that work. It is kind of concerning that there's no red card in this pack. So one of the first 2 picks from them was a red card. It's confirmed it was a red card from either this person or the person to their right. So that could mean taking Terra Sunder and trying to hedge our bets into some sort of green-black based deck could be better for us. And you know what? The fact that there's no red card in this pack, I'm going to go ahead and take the Terrace Under here. Tear Asunder. Sounds like Terrace Under. The Terrace Under here, and hope that it pays off in the fact that we're going to have red cut hard from the right here. Well, not quite exactly, because now we have Flowstone Infusion. As far as like a black-green kind of deck, I mean, Bone Splinters could be fine in that deck. Swarm is whatever. Keldon's Strike Team's good in red-white, but Flowstone Infusion is good in 2 of the 3 decks that we're drafting right now. So I think I'm going to take Flowstone Infusion here. And now we look to be getting past a green-red deck in our seat with Rulik Mons, Viashino Branch Rider, the land to a lesser extent. Kavu is like fine in a deck like that. So I think I'm going to take the Rulik Mons here and kind of go down a who knows what colored path we're really doing right now. Okay, so for the Terra Sunder deck, there is a Writhing Necromass, but there's a Heroic Charge for the Baird deck. There's a Furious Bellow for the blue-red and red-white deck, and there's also just a ridge line to either maybe splash Terrace Under, to go green-red, to, you know, do a couple of things with the ridge line. Make Rulik Mons easier to cast. I think I'm going to take the ridge line and really look for some sort of signal here. And now we see it with Take Up the Shield and Citizen's Arrest, both pick 7. There is a thrill, but unfortunately I think Balmor is being cut. Blue-red is a very popular deck in the format, and not a lot of times is it open. So I guess I'll take up the shield as just the best card in this pack in my opinion, and maybe we do red-white here. Not the wheel yet, but there is a Maria's Outrider if we go kind of green-red domain. A Necromass. This one might wheel out of the next pack as well, but I think we're a little far away from black. Both of the Defender cards wheeled, which is interesting. There's a Thrill and a Deathbloom Gardener. I don't really care about either of these cards so much. So I'm going to take the Thrill in case we open a bomb blue-red rare or something, or we still want to play a copy in green-red. I guess Scout the Wilderness. I think the ship has sailed on black, so I doubt we're going to do any black-related things. Both of these cards are effectively unplayable in best of one. I'll keep passing the black. Branch Rider, second to last pick, and then Smash to Dust. Okay. Then we see the Elder Dragon War. So it's a 4-mana 4/4 flyer. You could also have it deal 2 damage to each creature and opponent before that, or discard any number of cards and draw that many of cards. Kind of start it wherever you want, which is really, really good. And I think it's pretty clearly what I'm going to take here. Sacred Peaks would be great. And wheeling a Flowstone Kavu or a Bite Down would also be wonderful. We're just going to go ahead and slam the Elder Dragon War here. And now not really like what we're... Well, I like what we're seeing, but not the direction that the deck is going in as far as Electrostatic Infantry. Amplifier hasn't been particularly outstanding. We're not really looking for either of these two cards. I think we have to take a Root Walla here. I think green-red is kind of what's happening at this seat. Infantry for a much more streamlined blue-red deck, but we haven't seen any blue, and I really don't think blue-red's happening here. So we'll take the Root Walla and try to get into a little bit of a domain package with Outrider and Root Walla. Now there's Zaro Janin, Citizen's Arrest to a lesser extent because of the double white. But I think I'm just going to take the Radiant Grove here. This is a pretty easy Radiant Grove in my opinion. Especially when we have Outrider and Root Walla already. Scout the Wilderness as well, so definitely going to take the Radiant Grove here. Another Outrider versus Tangled Islet, I think is what I'm going to choose between here. We could have had all of the Necromasses. That is a deck I really do want to draft here at some point. We still got plenty of drafts left in the format, so I'm sure we'll be able to do that here soon. But right now, we're going to take the Outrider, look to go green-red, and pick up, Strength of the Coalition. Well, we already have a Radiant Grove. This card is really, really good. Because everything else in the pack is just not. So we're just going to take the Strength. Another Root Walla, Crystal Grotto. Cleaving Skyrider could be interesting. I'm going to take the Root Walla for now. Let me look at the deck. I don't think Baird will make it. This, neither. Probably not. I don't know about splashing this. And then we'd like to find a black land for the kicker on this. But yeah, I'll go ahead and take Root Walla. And looking to find more... Ooh, man. 7th pick, Extinguish the Light. I think the ship has sailed on that for us. We're on either Gardener or Warbrute here. I think I might take Gardener. Again, I don't really want to play either of these cards necessarily. All right, now we have Vinewall versus Gaia's Might. And interestingly enough, Gaia's Might is really, really good, but unfortunately we only have 3 land colors right now. And only 6 creatures, which is not great. I'm going to take the first copy of Gaia's Might in case we can't find access to it. But now we're just going to take an unexciting Kavu here. And pack 3 is really going to have to help us out in a big way. We're going to have to take as many lands as we can find, and we're also going to have to take as many creatures as we can find. And having to take both of those is not a good spot to be in. Maybe we could play a Bog Badger if we wanted to. Thrill is not the end of the world if we have to put that in there, but I'd like to keep the deck here for now. These are cards I'm like actively fine to okay with playing. I doubt we're wheeling any more lands, so we're going to have to make some tough picks in pack 3 as far as land versus card for our deck. Well, this could make our deck if we're short on playables. Another Kavu is not a bad pickup, I suppose. Hammerhand is not something I want to play. Alright, so they made it easy on us. We don't have to pick the rare. And we're already presented with the pick that I mentioned. We have Rada versus Haunted Mire. And you know what? I'm going to try to wheel the Rada. I don't know if anybody else is in green-red in this draft here. And if they are, it's not the end of the world, because Rada is good, but not outstanding. So we're going to take the Haunted Mire, try to be able to splash the Terra Sunder and add to our domain count here. Okay, now we have Goblin Picker, Elfheim Worm, and there's Squee. Take up the shield. Phyrexian Missionary is a great one, but I really don't think we can take that. I might just land on Squee here. I mean, the rest of these cards are kind of just like, whatever. I would take a land in this pack, to be honest. There was like a green-blue land or something, I would take that. But I think I'm going to go ahead and land on Squee. Defiler of Flesh, a little bit too far away for us. It's basically a 4-mana 4/4 menace is all that does in our deck. Shadow Prophecy is a good splash. Steel Crusher would be fine. Worm would be fine. Grotto's okay as well, but I think I'm going to take another Mire over an Aquifer here. And maybe we find access to a Shadow Prophecy here soon. Okay, so now we have... Wow, we have all the cards here. We have Rulik Mons, we have Maria's Outrider, and Sunbathing Rootwalla. I think I need to land on the Rootwalla here. This one might wheel. I doubt Outrider does. But yeah, I want to take the cheap creature, make sure my curve is good. Tangled Islet, really good pickup. Love to see that. Wouldn't mind playing a Sojourner in this deck. And a Warbrute is fine, whatever. But I'll take the Islet for sure. Man, lots of black coming here. Alright, is Urborg Repossession worth splashing? We have 2 black sources right now. Probably not. We don't have great creatures. There's also Bite Down, Kavu. Kavu number 3. We don't have any interaction right now as far as removal, except Flowstone Infusion. So maybe we could play a copy of Bite Down here. Here's the Shadow Prophecy. There's also a Colossal Growth with just 10 creatures. I want the card advantage here over the Colossal Growth. And that could be wrong, but I have yet to put this card in a deck, I think, on my side. And people have been singing its praises. So I really want to give it a shot with double Haunted Mire already. Okay, Branch Rider, Steel Crusher. Gosh, we could have had like 6 Necromancers. The only thing is I don't think we saw any Eerie Soul Tenders, so that could have made this worse. I think I'll land on Steel Crusher over the second Branch Rider here. Rada did come back, so did Sunlit Marsh. Okay, I think there's no black drafters at this table. Sunlit Marsh versus Rada. I'm going to land on Sunlit Marsh. You might hate me for that one, but I think it's correct as far as our domain double outrider triple root walla. We really have to make sure that we can cast our spells and get the domain we want. Crystal Grotto's a good pickup there. Worm came back. Warbrute came back. So, did we get there for domain? No. Can this deck get some wins? And a last pick Necromass, wow. Alright, so we were at a pod that had literal 0 black drafters, and I'm wondering if there was a way to get into black at any point based on our start, right? We went Balmor into Baird, into I can't remember third pick. Outrider? I'm not sure. But we were like 4 or 5 picks in before we could even, maybe a root walla. Before we could even really even consider taking any black cards. But it was definitely correct in our seat to be black. So we're based red-green. We can splash a Shadow Prophecy here. We could probably splash a Take Up the Shield. And then we're splashing Strength of the Coalition. We're splashing Tear Asunder. We're splashing Scout the Wilderness. And that's it. This is exactly 40. It's probably how I'm going to have to run it. I mean, what are the other options? A Thrill, a Bog Badger. One of these two? I don't think so. I think this is pretty much it. So currently we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 green. 6, 7, 8 red. 1, 2, 3, 4 white for Take Up the Shield, Strength of the Coalition, and Scout the Wilderness. And 3, 4 black for Tear Asunder and Shadow Prophecy. Is Take Up the... I don't think Take Up the Shield's worth splashing. Yeah, I just don't think it's worth splashing, to be honest. So maybe we just play a sad Bog Badger. It's 15 creatures. Probably have to do this and then go over here and get a Plains. So that's 1, 2, 3 white sources plus a Crystal Grotto for Strength and Scout. And then we have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 green plus Crystal Grotto. And then we have 5, 6 red plus Crystal Grotto. We need another one here at the expense of a green? It'd be 8 green, 7 red. Yeah, that seems okay. The Rulik Mons is what I'm worried about. Rulik Mons and Elder Dragon War as far as double colored mana. But yeah, I think this is probably how we're going to run this one back here. So, all right, let's see if we can piece together a win or 3 or 5 or 7 with a domain deck that didn't quite get there all the way. But sometimes that happens in this format because of how interesting the drafts are and how much you have to bob and weave throughout the draft portion to really succeed there. So, decent little hand here. We're only missing black. But the Gardener could give that to us. Turn 1 Vanquisher's Axe. Okay. In a blue deck. Alright, so Essence Scatter is what I'm worried about here. Would I rather Kavu or Gardener get scattered? I think they would scatter either one. So, the thing is, if we play, yeah, it doesn't particularly matter exactly. So, okay, well, they didn't have it. So we're going to do this, and now we have access to Shadow Prophecy. And if we draw land, we have access to going either one of these 2 drops plus Shadow Prophecy, so that's good. Alright, they have their own Kavu. Alright, so we can start here. I think I will actually go ahead and do this because this can threaten to kill their Vanquisher's Axe if we really need it to. And then I'm going to go ahead and cast Shadow Prophecy on, and well, I should just build out my board. Yeah, I'm just going to build out the board here. Next turn, we could still go Shadow Prophecy. We just have to hope Deathbloom Gardener survives. If it doesn't, that could be bad. Okay, Warbrute, yeah. Do not quite have the mana to pump this. Sorry, to pump this and bite down. Would be really good if we did. So let's go Root Walla and then Shadow Prophecy on end step. So look at the top 3. Put 2 in your hand, rest in the graveyard. Okay. We do have access to black, so that goes in our hand, and I think a 3rd Root Walla goes into our hand. I still would like a land. There we go. So now we could pump this and bite down. This also has Enlist, but we'd have to give it +3. And it would just trade with that, so. Alright, let's get in here. Hoping they double block with Kavu and Warbrute, that would be ideal. Okay, so they're going to try to make us burn our whole turn by doing this, which, I mean, if you just make me pay 4 mana, kill a creature of yours every turn, that's probably a way to win this game. So. And then while this is pumped, we can do this to here. Unfortunately, we can't do Terra Sunder and play Root Walla in the same turn right now because we need green and black plus the additional mana here. Defiler will have to die. Has first strike. Okay. Go to combat, definitely attack here. And we could enlist this to trade, but then we can't kill the axe. But, like, that's probably fine. Okay. We have nothing else to do with our mana, so we'll go ahead and pump this. Instead of our 2-drop trading with their 1-drop, it traded with their 4-drop, so that's better. Micromancer finding Flowstone Infusion is my guess. There it is. Well, we can't really attack here because if we go to pump, they could just kill it. So I don't like that. So we're going to have to just attack with Kavu here. And then play an Elfheim Worm. And let's see if they kill something. They don't. As long as they have this in hand and have it up, we can't... Okay, Frostfist Strider. Alright. That means we have attacks, at least one attack now. Okay, so we can get in here and here. Okay. Would I rather kill the 4-4 or the 3-3? Probably the 4-4. Alright. Trade there and then drop our own Enlist Trample Boy. Espionage without kicker. Oh. Yeah. So we can hit them for 8 right now. We can also force them to chump by enlisting Squee. Enlist and attack. So now they have to chump 1 and still take 7. All right. That almost wrecked us, but we got around it, so. Just enough interaction to make it through round 1. Okay, so we're on the draw here. We don't have a red, but one more land opens up Scout or Deathloom Gardener, which can kind of open up our hand a little bit here. We just have to hope they don't go super aggro on us. So we'll start here. Well, at least it's something we can play. And definitely looking for a land, obviously. But that was a snap keep. We have just a single land on the draw to find 2 more sources. So, yeah, it's an easy one, I think. Okay. Got that land. Now we could either do Gardener or Scout. We're not under any pressure, so we could Scout. They could have Essence Scatter, so I'm going to do Gardener. In the event that we draw land, we can then kick Scout the Wilderness, and then we're kind of just off to the races with the rest of our hand here. Okay, now we have to Terrace Under. Like, immediately, basically. We can't really afford to let this sit on the battlefield for much longer at all. I mean, there's an argument for going Scout, kicked that turn, then Terrace Under next turn, but if they, as long as they're tapped out and have a Shield Druid on the battlefield, kill it, please. So we can save that with Strength here. Is that worth it? So we can give this +2/+2 and make cut down, basically trading Strength for cut down. No, we got enough creatures that this is probably going to be pretty good in the late game for us. So I'm just going to let that happen. Okay. Well, we don't really have much of a choice but to have run this straight into a counter spell. But they didn't have it, so going to go ahead and count our blessings on that one. Alright, Citizen's Arrest on Warbrute. Let's go ahead and do Scout the Wilderness here. We have 3 green, 2 red, and a white. We don't really need much more white. What other white cards do we have in here? I don't think we have one. Yeah, not really. So then we're going to have to go and get a red. There's a terror. Alright, filtering through their lands with this, which is pretty good for them. I'm going to take it this turn while they're tapped out and we're not. Or while we are tapped out and they're not. And then there's Citizen's Arrest number 2. Alright, so how do we win this game? We have to get lucky with a double block here. go to combat. And I think I'm going to get in here and plan to double block the terror with these two. And potentially have to use strength if they go for a removal. But if they have, like, extinguish the light or something, then it's just a problem. We also have to try to put some pressure on them here. They kind of know that we have at least Gaia's Might in our hand because we keep holding up green and getting priority here. So they know we have Gaia's Might. Or an equivalent. And if they're going to attack anyway, then that means they have backup. So, yeah, I mean, I said my plan was to do that, and this might be able to steal a win out of nowhere if we're able to attack. Well, that has lifelink, so. And there are the lands. I don't exactly know what to do here. I don't know what's right. I'm going to regret this, but I mean, we have to do something. It's a pretty easy triple block there, I think. So we could try to save this, but they have 3 cards, untapped mana, and are getting priority. I know it could just be the Vohar, but if they're going to let this happen, then I will too. Alright, they got a top, so. That's why they did that, so they can get it right on back. Double missionary must be nice. So we can give this +3/+3 here now. And then still pump it and have it survive and kill both. Hopefully they don't have timely interference. Ah. So now we can still make it trade with both of them. Which I think is worth it. They do gain 5 life in this exchange, though, which is not great news. And there's the timely interference. Interesting game here. A couple of tough decisions for sure. Alright, they topped 1 there. So they have terror plus something else in hand. Double terror is what they have in hand. So this could be pumped to be a 6/6, no, 7/7, which would just trade with the Tolarian Terror. Get back Geyser. Okay. Bounce our Root Walla. Okay. Looks like this is our only option here. Ah, alright, so they have removal. But we have no other play to make here, so it's what we have to do and then hope we top deck something, basically. Alright, so here's the removal spell on the Root Walla. But there's really nothing we could have done to be profitable in that situation, so now we have to chump. So Vivisector doing work here. We've got 10 lands. Okay, now we have to definitely chump. We've got 10 lands, they've got 7, 8, and a bunch in the yard too. Well, they can trade with Terror at the very least, but we'll be at 1. Boom, let's go another one, why not? Okay, go to 1. They play another threat, and we can only draw 1 off the top here. Nope. There you go. Have fun. Alright, well, again, drawing lanes at the wrong time, but I think that game was relatively fair. I think they just outplayed us just a little bit. It was a close one, but they had removal at good times and bigger creatures, so that'll do it. Okay, so we're on the play. No green, but we do have Kavu potentially on 3 and an early removal spell. A green opens up Gardener, which opens up the whole hand, so I'm going to keep this. There's green. Think I'd like to get Gardener down now. It's really good with Bite Down. What does this do? The milling one? Yeah. Weather Seed Treaty is also a pretty good one. Alright, we could go Outrider here, and I think we only get 3 damage off of it, but I think it's totally fine. We don't have to just wait for a second color, or a 4th color to get 1 more damage. So they currently have 3 colors, so this is going to give +3/+3 and trample to something. Oh god. Okay. Well, that's dying. So we can go Bite Down and Kavu here. They're not getting any priority. And just in case for some reason they have timely interference or something weird, I'm just gonna go ahead and do this. And then we do have an attack. They're gonna hit us back for 4, but I don't really care about that. And with that, they now have full domain. Uh-oh. Here comes good old Wingmantle Chaplain. Maybe there's a way we win here with Strength of the Coalition plus Flowstone Infusion. If they just don't block because they want their Wingmantle Chaplain. Yeah, so we have 6, 7. Yeah, this has to be win, right? I mean, I haven't done the math, but... And then we could do this. And I'm sure that's fine. Alright. We did need the... No, we didn't even need the Flowstone Infusion. We could have done it with just the Kavu. So, yeah. Strength of the Coalition. Good card. Alright, on the draw with a pretty good hand here. So, we'll keep this one for sure. I'm going to lead on Forest, and I don't usually like to do that with having a priority card in hand. So they can't see that we had priority. That's why I skipped very quickly, so they know we don't have Gaia's Might here. But because we might need that green for Root Wall of this turn, that's why I did that. So I'll go ahead and play Root Waller now. Gardener is a good one. That's also quite a good one here. I think I'm going to lead on Grotto because we can go Root Walla and Infusion here now. Okay. Yeah, that seems good. It's another color for Domain. Alright, got that extra 2 points of damage in. I wasn't going to use this if they blocked, so no sense in just not attacking. And, okay. Apparently they just didn't want to play that game. Thank you very much. Alright, on the draw we have Infusion, we've got Gardener, we've got Steel Crusher. Let's do it. Alright, so we could hold this up to kill their 2-drop, and because we have 2 more chances to draw land before Gardener, so we don't play a tap land here, I'm actually going to do that. And there it is. So we are instantly paid off. So now we're just going to do Steel Crusher on turn 2. And we have the land for Gardener on turn 3 with the tap land on turn 4 to play Rulikamons off of the Gardener. So yeah, this is all working out nicely for us. Ooh, that's a spicy meatball. Alright, let's get in first. Hopefully they don't have their own Flowstone Infusion to kill our Gardener. I would very much like for this to stick around. It's looking like they have something. Tribute. Oh, no, okay. Alright. Coalition Warbrute, yep. Alright, I think I'm going to land on Rulikmons here. And I cannot attack. This now pings for 4. The Mirror. This has Menace. We don't really have anything good to do with that. I'm gonna leave up Gardener and play the Outrider like this. Because something we can do is we can attack and enlist this. Because it's whenever... Oh, this one is whenever it attacks. There's a lot of the creatures in this set that are whenever this becomes tapped, and this would be great in this spot, but we can have this trade with either one of these. Get him down to 9 here. So if we do this, we take 6. We don't really need that mana anymore. We do take 6. It does trade. Do they have a way to prevent that from happening? Yeah, they do. They definitely do. Okay. That's a good one. 1 mana 5/5 trample, yeah. And a sleeper that is kicked. Ooh. Well, we can't kick this and hold up Gaia's Might here, unfortunately. And they have a lot of trample. If we attack, they very clearly block, so that's not going to work. This gives +4/+4, so we can't kill them. It says Menace, so we can attack here. Alright, you may put it on the battlefield to tapped. If you don't, create a 1/1. How much do we need the 1/1? The 1/1 would chump the Maria's Outrider here. We're going to kick this, get a 3/3 here. I think I might need that 1/1 pretty badly. I know it kind of blanks our next draw step, which sucks. But we do have Gaia's Might to potentially finish out a game with Rulik Mons and Menace here. So I'm going to decline, get the 1/1, go to blockers, go to damage. And get a 3/3. Draw a card if it was attacking. Oh god, 7/4 trample. So now we're taking 3/5. What if we did this? Take 7. Draw a card if it was attacking. Otherwise it deals 1 damage. So we go to 1. We would have these 3 creatures plus a Gaia's Might in hand. We would have to hope they draw like nothing here. Yeah, okay. So they don't deal a damage because it was attacking. Draw land, please. Nope, they drew a removal spell. And we draw the land. But I think we still have lethal here. And we do. Alright, really interesting games. I think it was very important we got that 1-1. Actually, maybe not, because it didn't really matter what we did there. But we got the win in a really, really close game, even with top decking a land that we put on top of there in the end. Alright, liking this hand here. Gonna go Islet into Mountain. Double Root Walla. Queen all in all, yep. We now have full domain, so that's nice. Unfortunately, we have no play next turn if we don't draw an untapped land. Ugh. I'm okay trading one of these for a queen if they'll let me. I didn't think so. Very, very weird mana situation here, drawing all our tap lands. I'm not sure how well it's going to work out for us. We could get completely smashed here. Gonna get in with one, play the War Brute. It at least blocks the Branch Rider well enough. In comes Zorojanin, putting a counter on a lot of things. Puts a counter on everything but itself and the queen. And now I don't think we can win. Yeah, they had a better domain draw than we did. We just put a bunch of 2/2s on the field. It's almost assuredly correct to attack with Zorojanin here, right? You can actually attack with everything. I think we might be dead if they attack with everything. We would have to take 10. Oh, they did nothing. And we're just drawing nothing as well. Man, we really needed a land there. Yeah, I think we're just going to lose to a little bit of an awkward mana draw. Yeah, that'll do it. Yeah. Okay, so we jump here. We trade. What if we did this? Triple chump, take 12. Yeah, so double. They had quite the draw. And we had quite the slow draw. Alright, so here with our mono red deck, we'll keep this one. Although there are a lot of draws that could go horribly wrong with this type of hand here. Maybe it's worth playing a 1/1? I don't even know. Alright, well, that's good. Yeah, I'm just going to get value out of this while I can here. I'm suspect of a removal spell, obviously. Alright, they're getting priority. It's not Lightning Strike. Could be Flowstone Infusion, though. What else could it be? Yeah, it's probably Infusion, so I think I'm actually gonna... On the second chapter of this, I'm gonna get rid of Gardener, unless I can get the Infusion out of their hand. Oh, now they're not getting any priority. So it was a white-based spell, so it's probably Take Up the Shield. Okay, so now they could hold it up. I'm going to start it on 1, kill this, put this down to 2 toughness. And trade with either one of them here. And honestly, these are all great things to discard next turn, so I think I'm going to keep my whole hand and then probably just discard the hand to Elder Dragon War. I don't need another mountain. Gardener's not great here at all, and Squeak can be returned. So I'm just going to keep my hand, discard the whole thing to Elder Dragon War, and get a fresh new grip of cards. And by that I mean probably a fresh new grip of lands. You know how we do here at Daily Draft. Yep, that's why I also don't want Gardener, because I've had a feeling they might play a couple of tokens at some point, and this is so bad against those. Okay, holding one back to chump. So we have 5 mana. Definitely going to do this. Gonna let them chump here. Then we'll play our worm with trample. Getting a 4/4 dragon next turn. That's kind of scary, but now we have bite down, so that's good. Seven mana, so we can bring back Squee here. They do have Take Up the Shield, we determined from earlier, but that's totally fine. They're going to use it here to bite this down, and then to kill that, and then we're going to bite it down. So that will work well for us. Unless they have another one. Ooh, they have 2. Okay. They had 2 Take Up the Shields. Alright, well we have a 4/4 flying dragon, so deal with it. Cool, they can't. Alright. Thank you, Elder Dragon War. That did exactly what we wanted it to do there. Okay, another good hand. I mean, yeah, there we go. Alright, so I'm going to lead on Ridgeline here, because now we have 2 reds for the Elder Dragon War, and potentially 2 greens here for Rulik Mons, depending on what we want to do. Well, Elder Dragon War is going to be good if they're tapped out. And have that. I played the mountain over the plains first because we have both of our color intensive cards in hand, and we don't want something that produces a single white on the battlefield. Play another X2. Not quite. Wouldn't mind another 2-drop, maybe a Root Walla off the top or something. That we can go Radiant Grove, play a 2-drop, next turn have the option on either of these cards. Not quite. Not quite it. Alright, just play a bunch of X2s. Oh, that's the opposite.
There is a place for all of you beside us. Phyrexia.
Oh, this sucks. What do we do now? Alright, so we can trade Gaia's Might for Knight here, or we could just get Elder Dragon War going. Kill the Knight, get this down to 3. We could do Gaia's Might plus play a Death Bloom Gardener, have both of these on the battlefield, and next turn play Elder Dragon War. But they could use a bunch of counters here. So I'm going to do this. Oh, wait. I thought it was each creature your opponent controls. Do I have a way to go back here? There's got to be a way to go back, right? Apparently not. Okay, well that's a mistake. Definitely big punt there. How? I haven't chosen yet. Okay. Okay, well. Oops. It's a rare, folks. I haven't played with it yet. Sorry about that. Now we're just going to get beat by a Johnny here. Hey. And Soul of Windgrace. Okay, so double mythic. Seems good. Don't have time for this. We already have cards to play in these two. So we need a couple of answers here. We might need to put the menace creature down and hope that this can attack into a Johnny next turn, but they're going to get all kinds of counters, and yeah, this game is effectively over already. So, not that like me playing this when I did was a mistake. Whenever you cast a creature or planeswalker spell, I get 2 poison counters. Good God. Okay. Yeah, sometimes they have mythic planeswalkers that you can't beat, so. How do we win this game? We have to get lucky. And getting lucky means casting Gaia's Might and hoping it survives. And then they get priority, and then they kill it, and then we get 2 for 1, and then, yeah, I mean, we're, the way we win this game is we have to get lucky, and unfortunately that's not lucky, so. Okay, get 2 poison counters. Get 4/4. Get another 4/4. Okay, this is obviously bad news. They've got some sort of trick here, but what else are we gonna do? Just okay, so they use their turn to pump that up, and then play another creature, give us a poison counter. There's another one, probably. Oh, does this get back planeswalkers too? No, just creatures. Okay, so now we are 1 creature away from being dead. 2 simply poison counters. Oh, and it's a Soul of Windgrace, so we have to fight through 3 mythics this game. Definitely should have done that first so that I could have this survive. Because if I had not pumped this, then I could bite down on that one and kill that one. It may not matter. They may just have 2 creatures next turn anyway, but like, who cares? Okay. Alright, so they need 1 more creature here. Yeah, they're still getting priority, but, I mean, all they need is 1 more creature, so... Down goes Outrider, it looks like. Or maybe it's Take Up the Shield? No, okay. And here comes the last creature to put us out of our misery. Yeah, we're never beating 3 mythics in that game, so sometimes you just lose to mythics. But if you had told me at the beginning of this draft, or at the beginning of the gameplay portion of this draft, that we'd end up 5-3, I would have taken and ran with it. So sometimes you just kind of run into buzzsaws and lose drafts because of it. At least we didn't get mana screw. We kind of played out the games this draft, and there was a lot of good gameplay here, so I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks so much for sticking around to the end of this video, and I will see you next time for your daily draft.